Forget New Year, New You. This season is about slowing down, locking the doors, and cozying up at home with the one you really want to do nothing with. Your dog. After the holiday chaos, those quiet nights with a blanket, a podcast, and your pup feel like the reset you actually need. Ollie helps make those moments easier with fresh protein-packed meals made from real human-grade ingredients, so your dog can enjoy some quality comfort food too. Choose from 5 recipes and get a personalized plan for your dog's needs. Meals arrive perfectly proportioned with a scoop and storage container, so serving is fast and mess-free. And with Ollie's in-app on-demand health screenings, supporting your dog is easy, ensuring more cuddles for many years to come. Visit ollie.com/truecrime and use code TRUECRIME for 60% off your first box.
Ryan Duke's trial began on May 9th, 2022. It was a trial that would be much more complicated than that of his former friend and roommate, Bo Dukes. While Bo was charged and convicted of lying to the GBI, hindering the arrest of Ryan Duke, and concealing the death of 30-year-old Tara Grinstead, Ryan Duke was going to be tried for Tara's murder. Bo had told multiple witnesses, including the GBI, that Ryan had taken his truck, gone to Tara's house and killed her, and then Bo had helped him burn her body. And when Ryan was brought in to speak with the GBI, he told them a similar story. He said that on the night of Saturday, October 22nd, 2005, he had broken into Tara's house, had been looking for money for drugs, and when Tara confronted him, he struck her, killing her. He then fled the scene, went home and retrieved a quilt and some gloves, returned in Bo's truck, and transferred her body to a pecan orchard, owned by Bo's family. Bo then helped him burn it. From the outside, it might seem pretty cut and dry, and like Tara's loved ones might actually find out what exactly happened to her. But prior to trial, Ryan's attorney said that Ryan's confession wasn't true, and that he had made those statements while on pain medication and out of fear. Perhaps the trial wouldn't be so cut and dry after all. This is Jillian, and in partnership with Law and Crime, you are listening to Court Junkie, episode 206, part 2. In her opening statements to the jury, prosecutor J.D. Hart told them that Ryan Duke actually confessed to killing Tara Grinstead in 3 ways. In his interview with GBI agents, by physically writing out in detail how he says he murdered her, and by displaying what's called guilty knowledge. She said he talked about things in that interview that only the killer could have known, like a 411 call that was made to Tara's house on that Sunday morning. Ryan had told the GBI agent that he had called her house because he was hoping she would answer and would be okay. Hart said Ryan knew about that call, even though it had been something that was never publicly released. She also pointed to the glove, which she said had DNA from both Tara and Ryan on it. Ryan's team was adamant that his original confession was done under the influence of pain medication and couldn't be taken as truth. Instead, they pointed at Bo Dukes being the real killer and said Ryan was the one coerced into helping dispose of Tara's body. Ryan feared Bo and didn't want to end up hurt.
This case is about power and influence. The people who have it and the people who don't have it. Ryan Duke has neither. He didn't have power and he didn't have influence. Bo Dukes has both. The state has both. And you're going to see that throughout the evidence in this case.
Ryan's attorney, Ashley Merchant, said the only thing the state has to go on is what Ryan said in his interview, which was wrong, she said. She started with the state's timeline. She said the state wants the jury to believe that on that Saturday night, Tara was home and that Ryan broke in and killed her. But she pointed to the fact that the clothes Tara had been wearing on Saturday night at the barbecue were found on her floor. Tara's favorite yoga pants and sneakers were never found, she said, meaning she had changed clothes that night. She said neighbors had told investigators that Tara's car wasn't in her driveway that following morning. Later on Sunday, neighbors saw her car appear at around dusk.
What does that tell you? Her car was not home on Sunday. It was not there. So where was it? The evidence is not going to show you that anybody knows what happened to her car that day, where her car was.
She said there was also evidence that someone aside from Tara had driven her car. The car was dirty. Tara never kept her car that way, and her seat had been pushed back further than Tara would have had it.
So because of that, the police thought that was important, and they swabbed her car. They took fingerprints, and they took DNA swabs. Only 7 of those were ever actually tested. No idea why. You're going to hear evidence that that's up to the GBI. That's up to the state. The defense can't test that type of evidence.
And the glove? She said the glove didn't actually appear until a full day later, on Monday.
So on Sunday, her car's not there. The glove's not there. What's the explanation for that? She left her home. She put on her shoes, she put on her sneakers, and she left her home. Sunday night, the evidence is going to show that she left, or Saturday night, I'm sorry, that she left. You're going to hear about her dog. She had a dog, a German Shepherd named Dolly Madison. You're going to hear that she would leave that dog out when she went out. The dog was out. Heath Dykes will testify that when he came Sunday night, the dog was out. The Portiers will testify that the dog barked all night. She left. She was not home when the state says this happened. The evidence is going to show that she was not in her home. And had she been home, this lock would have prevented what the state will submit Ryan did. Break into her home. Why is that important? Well, as the judge has told you, the state has the burden of proof. So they have to explain to you what happened here. And nobody knows what happened. Nobody knows what happened this day. They are going to present, we anticipate, a theory based on a statement that Ryan made to a GBI agent. The evidence is going to show that Ryan admitted that he had taken a narcotic, pain medicine, prior to that statement. The evidence is going to show that he was under the effects of this pain medicine.
She told the jury that the glove had at least 3 DNA profiles on it, not 2. As for the guilty knowledge the prosecution said Ryan had, she told the jury that it was actually the GBI agent who brought things up first. She said there was none of Ryan's blood, semen, saliva, or fingerprints inside Tara's house.
Not one piece of evidence that Ryan was in that house. Not one piece of evidence that Ryan was in that car. They took fingerprints off the door, off this door that they're going to ask you to believe he broke into with a credit card. They took fingerprints. Not one single one matched Ryan. The state's theory, we believe, is based on a statement that was taken from Ryan and that was not the truth.
She told the jury that the state was basing their entire case on his interview with the GBI, but she said they will prove that Ryan did not harm Tara. Heath Dykes took the stand for the state and repeated the same story he had told for 11 years about visiting Tara's home, looking for her, finding nothing, and leaving his business card. On cross, he was asked if he had seen the glove at Tara's house when he went to check on her around midnight on Sunday night. He said no and agreed he likely would have noticed it. GBI investigator Gary Rothwell also testified, as he had at Beau's trial. He again said the agency had messed up and missed an important tip that placed blame on both Ryan and Bo in 2005. He said there was no excuse for what occurred. Dr. Ashley Gooding testified about the bone fragments found by the GBI in the pecan orchard, saying that they came from the back of a skull. But she admitted the bones were too badly damaged to confirm they were Tara's. Ryan's interview with the GBI was played for the jury. Agent Jason Shadell testified that he asked Ryan whether he was under the influence of any alcohol or drugs beforehand, and Ryan said he had taken a pain pill earlier that morning. The interview itself was conducted around 1 p.m.
Did you ask him, based on the fact that he told you he had taken a pain pill, if he felt like that was affecting his ability to think or process?
I did ask him that.
What was his response?
He said he fully understood what we were there, what was going on, and that he agreed to continue to provide a statement that he was, I'd say, it's not the exact word sound mind, but he acknowledged that he was aware of what was going on. He was fully willing to cooperate.
Okay. No.
Or it didn't impede his judgment or something to that effect.
He said Ryan confessed quickly into their interview. He told the court that Ryan described carrying Tara's body out of the house.
Do you recall how he said her body got from the house to the truck?
He took it out there. He actually made the motion during the interview when he put his hands up like this, kind of mimicking how he actually held her body.
And I know you're not able to see the video that we've just seen, so do you have a recollection of that from that day?
I do.
And do you recall if he had any reaction himself as he was mimicking holding her body?
Yeah, I think, and you've heard it on the video, I think as he's doing that, he kind of started getting emotional and started, I think he said, and she was so small, referring to her size and his own.
Agent Shadell told the jury about guilty knowledge. He said there were a few things in this case that police held close to the vest and didn't release to the public. The first was the fact that Tara's DNA was found on the glove. They had openly told the public that an unknown male's DNA was there, but not Tara's. The second, he said, was the 411 phone call made to Tara's house on that Sunday morning from a payphone. He said only a handful of people at the GBI offices knew about it. He conceded that at first in the interview, Ryan denied making any phone calls. But after he told Ryan that he knew there were phone calls made to Tara's house, Ryan then admitted that he had.
At any point prior to what we were able to hear and see, did you ever tell Ryan Duke about a phone call being made to Tara's residence from a payphone?
No.
Did you ever tell Ryan Duke about a phone call being made to Tara's residence in which someone used directory assistance or 411?
No.
After you indicated to him that you knew there were some phone calls made that morning, and to be fair, was that 411 call the only phone call that was made to her residence that morning?
No.
But after you made that statement to him, was he able to give you details that formed guilty knowledge?
Yes.
And specifically, what were the details that you recall him giving you about that payphone, or excuse me, about that telephone call?
The location of the where the phone call was made, that it was made from a payphone, both of which we verified, and that he had used directory assistance or 411 at the time to make that phone call.
And no, you said the location of that payphone. Where was that payphone located from which the call was made in 2005?
At the G&G store right here.
He said Ryan told him he had called Tara because he wanted her to answer the phone. He was hoping she wasn't dead. No one answered, so he went to the house. Ryan told him he took latex gloves and a quilt with him, wrapped Tara's body in the quilt, and dumped her in Bo's family pecan orchard, later burning it with Bo's help. Prosecutor Hart said in the podcast, Up and Vanished, there was talk about the glove being blue. Agent Shadell said the glove wasn't actually blue, but a clear-colored glove. When Agent Shadell asked Ryan what color the glove was that he brought with him to Tara's house, Ryan said it was translucent or clear.
The fact that he knew what color glove had been located at her home, is that something that you took notice of?
Yes.
And further, did he tell you why he owned those types of gloves?
Yes, he said that they had cats at his house and he used the gloves to change the cat litter.
Ryan told Agent Shadell that he took the body to the pecan orchard and left it there for several days before he and Bo went out there. They then moved the body deeper into the woods and burned it.
Based on what Ryan Duke told you, did Bo Dukes ever go to Tara Grinstead's residence?
No.
Based on what Ryan Duke told you, when did Bo Dukes become involved in this conspiracy?
He said he told him Sunday when he got back to the house that he had killed her. He said Bo didn't believe him.
Yes, sir.
And then he told him again. The investigation had been going on at that time for several days, and he and Bo conversated again. I think it was that Wednesday. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. That Wednesday is the day they went back out to the orchard.
Agent Shadell said Ryan told him that after he had killed Tara, he had stolen Bo's truck on that Sunday morning by taking Bo's keys out from his pocket.
Did he indicate to you where Bo was or what Bo was doing when he took the keys out of his pocket?
I don't think he said specifically. I think I may have said he may have been, was he intoxicated, passed out, sleeping, something like that. And,
okay.
I don't think he specifically said that.
He said Ryan told him he didn't take anything from the house except for Tara's purse and keys.
At any point, did you speak with him about what he may have done with the keys and the purse?
Yes.
And understanding he said he didn't have a very clear recollection, what did he indicate to you that he may have done with those?
He confirmed that he threw the keys and the purse into a dumpster located behind a cleaner's building in Fitzgerald.
He said in 2017, when he went to that area, he did see dumpsters in the place Ryan described. On cross, Ryan's attorney, Ashley Merchant, pointed out that after his interview with Bo, the GBI then coordinated with Bo to have Ryan then come in and talk to them. He conceded he can't be sure what Bo and Ryan talked about in any communications prior to their interview with Ryan.
You said you didn't expect him to start off saying that he did this. Normally you'd have to talk for a while.
Yes.
Okay. But he was ready to talk right from the get-go.
Appears like it, yes.
All right. It was almost like someone had talked to him before he came in there.
That'd be speculation.
He agreed that Bo had an attorney, and Ryan did not. She asked if he knew that the DA at the time had a relationship with Bo's family. He said he didn't know that until now.
So what Ryan was telling you was that he passed out from being drunk, woke up in the middle of the night, and boom, decided he's going to drive to an adjoining town to rob someone at random, to get a fix. That didn't make sense, did it?
It's what he said happened. That's what for me to say anything else, I think would call for me to speculate as to the truthfulness of his statement. I mean, that's what he said he did, and I took him at his word for that.
And I'm definitely not asking you to speculate or comment on the truthfulness of his statement or what you believe. But what I'm asking you is if that makes sense to you. You're an investigator. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Does it make sense to you that a junkie who's looking for a fix would drive 20 minutes away to try and rob someone?
It would not surprise me 1 second for any person who's addicted to substances to drive any amount of distance.
Okay. And when someone who's addicted to substances is looking for a fix, they usually try to get that fix pretty quickly, though, correct?
They're looking for a fix, yes.
Okay. And Ryan told you he did not buy drugs that
He
night.
said that he didn't think he went and bought any drugs that night.
She asked whether or not Tara's car being gone on Sunday was important. He said yes.
Because you charged Ryan with the homicide Sunday morning.
Correct.
So if the car was gone on Sunday day, that would be relevant.
Correct. Whether he or somebody else moved it would have obviously been a relevant issue.
Okay. So the information from witnesses in the case file that said that Ms. Grinstead's car was gone all day Sunday, was that something that you found important?
I don't know until recently that I actually knew. Again, passing along information from agent to agent, I don't recall that the car was moved. I think there was maybe a couple witnesses that months and months later after the initial had made some statements about the car maybe being moved at that day, but there were others that said they saw it there that day, so it was a collaboration of both.
Okay. So you don't know if the car was there or not that day?
Correct. Other than supposition from other people who said that, from interviews they had done, other agents that had told me that information, yes.
He agreed that there was evidence that someone taller than Tara had driven her car. Merchant pointed out that Heath Dykes was at Tara's around midnight on Sunday night and that he didn't see the glove there then.
So if this jury heard testimony from Mr. Dykes that he went to Ms. Grinstead's house and thoroughly looked around the house because he was checking for foul play because he wanted to know what happened to her.
Okay.
And saw a photo of her home and the position of the glove and testified that he didn't see that glove there and it was not there Sunday at midnight. Would that be important to you?
Yeah.
If there was another witness named Jared Luke, who is the assistant principal at the local high school, if he also told you that he was at Tara's house on Sunday afternoon and knocked on her door and walked around the house to find a dog bowl and that glove was not there, would that have been important to you?
Yes.
She pointed out how Ryan said he had hit Tara, but that there was no blood from that found.
You think that one hit in the bedroom killed Miss Grinstead without any blood?
Could have. You've got to be alive to bleed, so if you strike somebody and kills them, they're not going to bleed.
Okay.
He agreed that he took a training class on interrogations, one of many. In this particular class, she pointed out that it taught to take a witness statement first before interviewing them. He said he doesn't recall that and that he never did that in his entire career.
So this is the class that taught you how to interview suspects?
It's one of them.
Okay. And this is the class that teaches people how to make sure that they're not improperly influencing an interview?
Could be, yes.
Okay. So if one of the things that they teach you is that in taking a written statement, it's important to do it before you've influenced the statement, would that be something important to know as an agent?
No.
She brought up guilty knowledge and asked if it's possible that Bo had told Ryan those things. He agreed it's possible. She asked him if Ryan told him in his interview that he had used a credit card to break into Tara's house, and he said yes. She showed him the interview transcript.
Okay, you're correct.
Okay. So you asked him first at 2 minutes and 30 seconds, and I'll leave that up there for now.
Sure.
At 2 minutes and 30 seconds, you first asked him about it. You asked again at 2 minutes and 58 seconds, and it wasn't until 7 minutes and 20 seconds in that you told Ryan, you said you used a credit card to break into the house.
7 minutes?
7:19, yes, sir.
Okay.
So you first introduced the credit card.
Right. I said you used a credit card to break in the house. He said yes, sir.
Okay. So at that point, Ryan had never said he used a credit card.
Correct.
Did you ever ask him if he had a credit card at the time?
I did at some point ask him, does he still have the credit card? And he says no.
Did you ask him if he had a credit card at the time?
No.
Did you ever run a credit check to see if he actually had a credit card at the time?
No.
Did you ever run anything to see if his brother had a credit card or anyone that he would have access to had a credit card?
No.
She asked him about another statement Ryan made, about hitting Tara.
About 7.5 minutes in, you told Ryan, you punched her, you hit her, and he responded, I don't know, that's one thing. I can't remember exactly what happened. Mm-hmm. You asked him again, could it be something other than a punch? But he continued to tell you no, that it wasn't anything other than a punch, correct?
Correct. Several times.
And you continued to ask him several times if it was possible it was something else, if it was possible, and he continued to say no.
Correct.
Okay. And that's when you said the comment you mentioned earlier about you're not the Incredible Hulk. Did you say that because hitting her one time didn't seem to make sense to you?
Correct.
You asked him about the location of the house about 9 minutes into your interview, and he didn't know which house you were talking about or whose house it was.
Correct. He said that.
Okay. He didn't know where he parked?
Correct.
You told him that he had to park close.
I said you would have parked. Yeah, I speculated.
Okay. He told you he didn't take anything from the house at first. And that's about 10.5 minutes in. Mm-hmm. And then you told him you didn't take her purse and keys. You didn't put them in a dumpster. And he said, I may have.
Correct.
So he didn't introduce that I took her purse and keys. You're the one that introduced that fact.
Correct. He just confirmed it.
Well, he said I may have. He didn't know.
Well, again, if I didn't do it, I'm not going to say I may have or it's possible I didn't do it. No, that's not it.
Unless you're scared.
And that would call for speculation.
You kept asking, and he finally gave in and said, I might have just grabbed it.
Okay.
Then he said, I honestly don't remember.
Correct.
So it was clear he didn't really understand or remember that he took a purse and keys. A fact that you introduced to him initially.
Right, and then he confirmed.
He said, I honestly don't remember.
But during the course of the interview, he did confirm those things, those facts.
And we can go through every single time that this was brought up. You came back again, you asked him again, and asked him if he had thought a little bit more about it. You wanted to ask him again to see if he had thought a little bit more.
Correct.
And at that time, he said, I probably grabbed her purse when I ran.
That sounds familiar.
So after you asked him 6 or 7 times, he finally said, I probably grabbed her purse.
I asked him several times, yes, and then he said that, yes.
She continued to ask him questions about what Ryan said in his interview.
You asked him if he ever made any phone calls.
Correct.
You brought the phone calls up first.
I brought the phone call up, not the specifics of the phone call.
Exactly. So you brought up that whether or not he made a phone call, and he said, no, sir, initially. His first response was no, sir, at 12:41.
Correct.
You told him that that was wrong and that he had made some calls.
No, I said, I know there had been some calls made to her. I know some calls been made that morning. I'm not even sure if I said to her house. Mm-hmm. I said, you didn't make any phone calls? Again, I think I asked him again. And then I believe that's when he said that, yeah, I did make a phone call.
He adopted your statement.
And then, he confirmed what I said, and then he added the 411, and then he added the store. I never said the store, and I never said how the phone call was made. He volunteered that information all by himself, which again corroborated what I already knew to be fact.
And we'll get to that in a minute. So after he adopted your statement, though, that's when he said, I called hoping she was okay.
That's what he said.
But he got the time of the call wrong, though. He told you that it was pre-dawn when he made that call.
He said early morning hours.
And he said specifically it was pre-dawn, though.
Early morning hours.
And the call was actually at 9:30, which is several hours after dawn.
Correct.
So he got some of those facts wrong. So let's talk about the glove. You initially told Ryan at about 13 minutes in, tell me about the gloves. I know there were some gloves. At that point, Ryan had never mentioned the glove, correct?
Correct.
You told him there were gloves.
Correct.
He agreed they were his.
Yes.
He told you he never put them on.
Correct. He said he wasn't sure, and then I don't think I put them on.
You asked him what color they were. Do you remember that?
I do.
And he told you they were clear.
Or translucent.
Exactly. Clear or translucent. Not cream, opaque. Correct?
Okay.
He told you they were clear.
He did not say cream or opaque, no.
He said they were clear and translucent.
Correct.
He agreed that sometimes people confess to things they didn't do. He also agreed that 2 minutes into the interview, Ryan said he was tired, and Agent Shadell offered him a break and some water. He said Ryan had also told him he hadn't slept the night before. In the beginning of the interview, Ryan said he was supposed to be taking a buttload of prescribed medication, but that he wasn't. Agent Shadell asked him if he had taken anything in the last few hours, and he said he had taken a pain pill.
Did you ask him if not taking medication he was prescribed affected him in any way?
No.
Okay. Did you ask him what medication he was supposed to take that he had not taken?
No.
Did you ask him what the medication was for that he had not taken?
No.
When he said that he took a pain pill, did you ask him what pain pill he took?
No.
Did you ask him when he took it?
No.
Did you ask him any information that might be helpful to determine the effect that pain pill might have on him?
I did ask him. Asked him if it, hampered his ability to make decisions, and he said his mind was clear, his free mind was clear, something to that effect.
She pointed out that Ryan couldn't remember his age at one point, and Agent Shadell said that's not unusual. Merchant then asked him a series of questions about evidence in the case.
You don't have any physical evidence to prove that she died from one single hit to with a hand.
No, I can't say that.
And you never got any evidence that she did not leave her home voluntarily the night she went missing.
Rephrase, I'm sorry.
You don't have any physical evidence, forensic or physical, that she did not leave her home on her own free will voluntarily the night she went missing.
No, I do not.
And you have no physical evidence that Ryan took anything from her home.
No. Other than her body.
You have no physical evidence that Ryan took a body from her home.
The glove.
You have no physical evidence, physical forensic, to corroborate what Ryan told you.
The glove.
You have no physical evidence to corroborate that he burglarized her home and assaulted her while he was in there.
Other than his statement.
She asked him about the third DNA profile on the glove. He agreed that was found after the defense requested that it be retested. He also agreed that testing on that glove could not exclude Bo as the third contributor. The defense called Bo to the stand.
Will you state your name for the record?
On the advice of counsel, I'll be invoking my Fifth Amendment right not to provide testimony.
How'd you get here today?
On the advice of counsel, I'll be invoking my Fifth Amendment right not to provide testimony today.
He pleaded the Fifth. In perhaps the most pivotal part of the 8-day trial, Ryan took the stand too. His account of Tara's disappearance and death was the polar opposite of what Bo had told the GBI. Ryan testified that around the time of Tara's murder, Bo was his roommate, and he said they partied all the time. Marijuana and cocaine were present in their regular life. Ryan himself was in the Army and had joined in late 2004.
Why did you join the Army?
I thought it'd be good for me to be part of something bigger than myself. You know, I thought that would kind of give me direction.
Ryan said the Army was a good structure, but he struggled with the idea of the violence associated with going to war.
How did you feel about the violence that came with the job once you're in basic training?
I wasn't sure I was capable of violence.
Did you have any veterans as your instructors while you were in basic training?
We did, and we had, you do course training, and a lot of the course trainers had just come back from deployment.
And did they tell any stories about when they were serving?
Yes, sir, they did.
And did any of those stories impact you in any way?
They did.
And how did those stories impact you?
It made me think I wasn't capable, or I wouldn't be able to do what was necessary.
When recalling the events leading up to Tara's death, Ryan said that on the morning of October 23rd, 2005, he woke up in the bathroom of the trailer he shared with Bo after a night of heavy drinking. He said Bo woke him up and confessed to something.
What did Bo Duke say to you when he woke you up that morning?
He said he killed Tara.
And what was your first reaction?
I didn't know who he was talking about or what he was talking about. I was waking up after being drunk, being sick.
He said Bo had brought Tara's purse home, and it was sitting on their kitchen counter.
Did you know Miss Grinstead from high school?
Yes, sir.
Did you know she was a teacher?
Yes, sir. I had passed her in the hall, you know.
Did you ever have any classes with her?
No, sir, I did not.
At this point, you see the driver's license of Miss Grinstead and the wallet you're holding. Were you alarmed at this point?
No, I had assumed he just stole the pocketbook or purse from somewhere.
And did you say anything to him in response once you had the purse, or saw the purse and had the wallet?
Yeah, I still didn't believe he had committed a murder.
Did you tell him that?
Yes, sir, I did.
Ryan said he just couldn't believe that Bo had killed someone. He decided that he would try to return the purse to Tara, who he firmly believed was still alive. He borrowed Beau's truck, which he often used since he didn't have a car of his own, and he attempted to return Tara's purse, even though he didn't know exactly where she lived. That's when he said he called 411 to see if he could get Tara's number. Ryan and Beau lived in the neighboring city of Fitzgerald, and after driving around for a bit, he said he gave up and decided to head back home.
When you got back to your house, was Beau at home?
Yes, sir. He was still in his room.
Did you go into the bedroom and look at him, talk to him?
Yes, sir. I went in there and I grabbed his leg, shook him. He wasn't asleep. I asked him what he was talking about, tell me what's going on. And he told me he'd show me.
He says he'll show you. What does he do next?
That's when he gets dressed, comes out, tells me to come on. And we get in the truck.
While you're in the trailer, before you go and get in the truck, is there any other conversation between the two of you?
No, sir, not, which was odd.
Did Beau talk a lot?
He did, but not that day.
Ryan said they headed to the pecan orchard, where Beau showed him Tara's body.
Was the person laying on their back or their stomach?
They were laying face down.
You approach, I guess, do you come to stand near Beau in that area?
No, sir, I stopped at the...
Bleeding yet again.
Please let him answer the question.
Did you...
I stopped at the clearing. I said as soon as I stopped or I saw something, I froze where I was.
How far away were you standing?
10, 12 feet.
Does Beau do anything once you approach within 10 feet or so?
Yes, sir. He reaches down. He grabs her arm and just flips her over.
Was it a violent motion that he made?
Yes, sir.
How did he move her? How did he turn her?
It was, like I say, he just reached down like you would open a cellar door and or crank a lawnmower, I guess.
Does he look at you?
Yes, sir. He looks at me and says, "I told you."
He said had Beau not told him who the body was, he would have never known just by looking. He said he and Beau then went to go get firewood.
Once the wood's stacked up, what do y'all do next?
Beau tells me to help him put her on the wood.
And did you help him?
I did.
Move the body?
I did.
And once you place the body on the wood, what happened next?
I'll back out, almost out of the clearing, kind of.
You back out, like you mean you walk back out?
Yeah, I told Beau, I can't be here, you got to take me home.
What happened next?
He just started putting wood on top of it.
And then what happened?
He lit her on fire.
Ryan reiterated that the confession he gave to the GBI wasn't true. He said he decided to take the blame for the death before he left for the interview because he wasn't sure Beau would ever tell the truth.
When you spoke to Agent Shaldell, did you know, or do you know today how Ms. Grinstead actually died?
I do not.
Did you tell Agent Shaldell that you broke into Ms. Grinstead's home?
I did.
Was that true?
No, sir.
Did you tell Agent Shaldell that you hit Ms. Grinstead in her house during an attempted burglary?
I did.
Is that true?
No, sir.
Did you tell Agent Shaldell that Ms. Grinstead died from a single blow?
I did.
Is that true?
No, sir.
Did you tell Agent Shaldell that you and Beau Dukes disposed of Ms. Grinstead's body?
I did.
Is that true?
Yes, sir.
He said he did not murder Tara Grinstead. On cross-examination, Prosecutor Hart told Ryan she wanted to start with a few things they agree on.
You admit to being the person who called Tara Grinstead's house at around 9:30 on Sunday morning, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And you admit to the fact that you made that phone call from the G&G Food Mart, or what used to be the Swifty Mart.
Yes, ma'am.
And you admit to the fact that you used 411 to make that phone call.
Yes, ma'am.
You also admit to the fact that you traveled to Miss Grinstead's neighborhood on the morning of Sunday, October 23rd as well, correct?
It's what I thought was her neighborhood, ma'am.
Okay. And did I understand you to say that you saw her car in the driveway?
I didn't see her car.
You did not see her car in the driveway?
No, ma'am.
Okay. I must have misunderstood you then. And you said you thought you were in her neighborhood, but you actually never knew where she lived. Is that correct?
Not specifically.
Okay.
I'd never been to her home, ma'am.
So when you say that you didn't see her car, that's making an assumption that you drove by the right house, correct?
Yes, ma'am, it is.
She asked if he had Tara's purse with him when he took Bo's truck to go and try to find her house so he could return it to her. He said yes. She pointed out that the purse had Tara's wallet and ID in it, and he agreed. As for why he didn't look at the ID to get her address, he said he didn't think to do that.
But again, we can agree that you had her Georgia driver's license on the morning of October 23rd, 2005.
Yes, ma'am.
And it had an address on it.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. But despite that, you called her house to try and speak with her to find out where she lived.
Yes, ma'am. I think that's right.
And after you did not get an answer from her, you drove to the location of where you thought her house was.
Yes, ma'am. The area.
The area. But you still never looked on her driver's license to determine what house she actually lived at.
No, ma'am. I probably wouldn't have recognized the street anyway.
And I don't mean this to be ugly, but you clearly read and write the English language, correct?
I didn't mean I didn't understand it. I meant I didn't know the vicinity.
Okay. But you would be able to read a street sign?
Yes, ma'am.
She asked if, after not being able to find her house, he brought Tara's purse to the police department. He said no. He said he then left her purse in Bo's truck.
So even though your entire purpose that morning of getting up, driving to Ocilla, making the phone call, going to her neighborhood was to return the purse, you just left it in Bo's truck?
Yes, ma'am. I also wanted to. Bo had said that he had killed Tara.
But you've already told the jury that you still didn't believe that, correct?
I didn't believe it, but I still wanted to make sure she was okay.
But you didn't go to the police for them to check to see if she was okay, correct?
No, ma'am, I didn't. And
in fact, until what you say is Bo took you to the orchard, you had no knowledge as to where her body was, correct?
No, ma'am.
And so as much as you knew, she could have still been at her house dying, correct?
She could have.
But you didn't call the police?
No, ma'am. That's if you take Bo's statements for truthfulness.
Well, I'm talking about what you said Bo told us.
Yes, ma'am. I understand that.
You're saying that you didn't believe, sorry, let me go back. You've just said that you were still worried about her condition, and that's why you drove over there, right?
Yes, ma'am. I'd assumed he had just stole the purse.
You assumed he just stole the purse, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So again, despite the fact that the entire reason you went over there was to bring her the purse, you left it in Bo's truck.
Yes, ma'am. I didn't know what to do with it.
Prosecutor Hart asked if they can agree that he had the same type of gloves as the one found in Tara's yard. He said he isn't sure if they were the same. He agreed that his brother worked at a hospital and would often bring gloves back to their house, which he would then use.
Let's talk about your interview with Agent Shadell. Specifically, your interview with Agent Shadell, you've told this jury that when you walked in there, you had already decided to lie to him, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So let's talk about what you're saying, the details you're saying you lied about.
You didn't just tell them that you broke into her home. You told them that you were breaking into lots of people's houses, correct?
I told them that, yes.
And you're now saying that that was a lie.
Yes, ma'am.
And Bo Duke certainly didn't tell you to come up with this idea that you were burglarizing a lot of houses, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
You told them that you told Agent Shadell that you broke into her house and that you were going through her purse, correct?
Yes, ma'am. I told him that.
You told him that. But now you're saying that that was a lie.
Yes, ma'am.
And again, Bo Duke's never told you to lie about stealing from her, correct?
No, ma'am.
So you made that up yourself.
Yes, ma'am.
You told Agent Shadell that you hit her, correct?
Yes, ma'am. I told him that.
And you're now saying that was a lie.
Yes, ma'am.
And you've already told this jury that you're claiming you don't know how she died, correct?
I don't.
So you came up with an idea of how you think she may have died.
Yes, ma'am.
Wow. Again, that didn't come from Bo, that came from you, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
She asked why he lied when he first told Agent Shadell that he hadn't called Tara, since he was already taking the blame for killing her. He said he didn't know. She pointed out that Agent Shadell asked him multiple times if he strangled Tara, and each time he said no.
So again, if you were prepared to confess, why not just admit to strangling her?
I don't know.
What about Agent Shadell asked you multiple times if you saw her without her clothing on, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And you multiple times told her no. Multiple times told him no.
Yes, ma'am.
But again, you're saying you were already prepared to go to prison for the rest of your life, right?
Yes, ma'am.
But you decided you just couldn't agree to having seen her naked, correct?
I guess.
Okay. But you've told the jury now that you have, in fact, seen portions of her body, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
But in 2017, for some reason, you just were not willing to tell Agent Shadell you had seen portions of her body naked.
Yes, ma'am.
And that was despite the fact that you had indicated at that point you had nothing to lose, right?
I still didn't know what happened to her, so I couldn't.
I understand, but you came up with one story, right? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
And the other story that he was asking you about, based on your testimony, was just as likely to have occurred, right?
No, ma'am.
It wasn't just as likely to have occurred?
I don't think so.
Okay.
He agreed that he knew everyone was looking for Tara Grinstead and that he never told anyone what he says happened. He said he was scared.
You want the jury to believe that you lied and confessed to a murder you didn't commit because you were scared of Bo Dukes, right?
I lied and confessed because I did not think Bo would ever tell the truth about what happened, about what he did to her.
But you confessed to her murder, right?
I did.
You could have just told him the truth and they would have still had some semblance of peace, right?
I don't know that. It's easy to look at something from after the fact.
You knew they were looking for her every single day.
Yes, ma'am.
You even say you have nightmares about it, right?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
But you never went to law enforcement prior to February 22nd.
I've stated why.
The answer to my question is you never went.
No, ma'am.
In their closing arguments, Ryan's attorney, John Merchant, told the jury that Ryan was not guilty of Tara's murder.
Bo Dukes should be sitting in that chair, not Ryan. Bo Dukes should be on trial for the murder of Tara Grinstead, not Ryan. Where was Bo Dukes in this trial? Why did the state not bring him? Why did we have to call Bo Dukes? Why did Bo Dukes not answer our questions? Be thinking about this as we talk about this case, because there's an important theme here. Ryan took the stand, sat in that chair, and told you what he knew. He told you what happened.
He said there were no signs of a struggle in the house. Any mess could be attributed to girls getting ready for a pageant. And he said there was nothing linking Ryan to the inside of the house.
There was some talk about a lampshade, a candle tipped over on its side, and a clock that was sitting upright on the floor. Those were the three things that, plus there was a stain on the comforter, blood stain on the comforter. That's it. There's nothing else. If you go back and review the testimony in your notes from Agent Rossler, who was the crime scene tech who processed the scene, he found no fingerprints anywhere inside the house. He found no fingerprints on the door jamb linking Ryan to the house. He found nothing in terms of fingerprints linking Ryan to the car or any other back door, any of that sort of thing. Nothing linking him fingerprint-wise to inside the house. Well, why is that important? Well, if you believe Ryan's statement to the GBI in February of 2017, he said, didn't he wear gloves when he went in initially? So that means he grabbed the doorknob and shut it. So he grabbed both doorknobs and shut it and didn't leave a fingerprint. That doesn't make common sense.
He showed the jury a photo of Tara's front door, one he said was in the case file but that the state didn't show. He said this photo shows the door had an operational second lock.
That lock is important because we learned that Tara Grinstead's greatest fear was being attacked at night. She and Heath Dykes were in love. And that relationship, we didn't get into the relationship. That's none of our business, honestly. What was important, though, is that they had a relationship where he would know that. He would be close enough to her to know that she would have locked that door at night. Her best friend also came here and told you, and she's known Tara Grinstead since she was 4 years old. She saw her regularly, been inside that house regularly. And what did she tell you? She told you Tara would have locked that door if she'd been there that night. We know on Monday morning, Joe Portier shows up with the spare key from next door. That door is locked from the outside. He turns the key and opens it. That tells us that interior lock was never locked that night. That means Tara Grinstead was never inside that house, and that was not a crime scene. She left that house and locked the door behind her, took her purse and keys, and we don't know where she went. But we know she wasn't there.
He said the lock is also important because it can't be picked. Ryan wouldn't have been able to use a credit card to get in. He said the back door wasn't used and was secured, as were all the windows.
So if the state's theory is correct, whoever went inside that house to do this crime in this alleged crime scene had to go through the front door. Why are there no fingerprints for Ryan on the door handle? Why are there no fingerprints or anything else inside the house from Ryan? Why is Ryan's DNA not in the house?
He said that since the front door was locked, according to the state's theory, Ryan would have had to go back and lock the door after removing Tara's body that Sunday morning. He would have had to risk going back and being seen. That doesn't make common sense, he said. He said if Ryan had dropped the glove as the state claims, wouldn't he have seen it on his way back out?
It was in plain sight. How would he have missed it? And he would have missed it twice. He would have missed it when he walked to the front door, and then he would have missed it again when he walked back. And the state's theory is he was trying to avoid being detected and avoid looking like he was carrying the body out. So he missed it twice if it's sitting on the ground when the state says it's sitting on the ground.
He said the state hasn't brought a single witness to tell the jury that the glove was on the ground before Monday morning. He said multiple witnesses said they didn't see it on Sunday, including Heath Dykes. And it was in plain sight, within feet of the front porch. He said the state tried to exclude Bo Dukes from being the third contributor to that glove, but that they couldn't. He said they believe Bo planted it there to frame Ryan.
They excluded dozens of other folks. They tested everybody, and they were all excluded. They could not exclude Bo Dukes from the glove. And she also told you that the DNA on the glove would be consistent with someone dropping it in the front yard. Now, the state's probably going to argue, how could Bo Dukes in a million years know that there was DNA on that glove? He might not have. But he knew it could be Ryan's. and that people would investigate. That's the important part of the DNA issue with glove, is they can't get Bo off it. And a final piece on the glove. Gary Rothwell told you they considered that it had been planted. And I'm telling you, that's what our theory is that Bo did this on purpose, sometime between midnight and in the early morning hours of Monday. No one will know for sure because we couldn't ask him the questions. We really wanted to, but he was not made available to us. Why he did it at that time, we don't know. Whether he had help, we don't know.
He asked the jury to find Ryan not guilty of Tara's murder. In his closing arguments, District Attorney Brad Rigby reminded the jury that Ryan confessed.
Ryan Duke, the man in that chair, confessed to the murder of Tara Grinstead. He confessed with the words of his own mouth, the words expressed from his own thoughts. He convicts himself by his own words.
He said he confessed with his handwriting, with his actions, with his DNA. He said Ryan Duke is the murderer of Tara Grinstead, the monster he doesn't want to be and the monster he hides from everyone. He then played portions of Ryan's interview with the GBI. He told the jury they should be truth seekers. And the truth is exactly what came out of his mouth. He hit Tara Grinstead in her home and he left, Rigby said. On May 20th, 2022, the jury returned with their verdict. Ryan was found not guilty of murder, aggravated assault, and burglary. He was found guilty of concealing Tara's death. Ryan burst into tears after hearing the verdict. He was sentenced to 10 years in prison. The verdicts have at long last provided some answers to the Grinstead family, who have waited over a decade for their day in court. But the case leaves a lot of unanswered questions as well. After all, no one has been formally convicted of Tara's actual murder. On June 3rd, 2022, 6 new charges were brought against Ryan for his role in Tara's murder, this time under the jurisdiction of Ben Hill County. Instead of murder, these charges include concealing the death of another, hindering the apprehension or punishment of a criminal, concealment of facts, and tampering with evidence. Meanwhile, Bo Dukes is still facing trial for rape, and now Ryan's case will continue in Ben Hill County. Both men face additional sentences if found guilty. And that's all for this episode. As always, I'd love to know what you think about this case. You can let me know by joining the conversation on Instagram @CourtJunkie, by finding me on Twitter @CourtJunkiePod, or by emailing me at podcast@courtjunkie.com. This episode was researched and written by Law and Crime staff, with additions by me. As you may know, this case is a very complex one with a ton of details that have come to light over the years, and that were not included in these 2 episodes. As I said earlier, Payne Lindsay's podcast, Up and Vanished, went over all the details and evidence in great detail. And my friend, Nina Instead, host of Already Gone and They Walk Among America, actually covered Ryan's trial on the Up and Vanished feed, so be sure to check those out. You can also follow Nina at Already Gone Pod. And remember to please subscribe to Court Junkie's new podcast that we will be launching shortly called Civil. You can find it by doing a search on your favorite podcast listening app for Civil Court Junkie, or the link is in the show notes. Thanks again for listening. Until next time.